Math, we're going to talk about some vocabulary that goes with three-dimensional shapes. We're going to talk about what a face is, what an edge is, and what a vertex is. So let's start with a face, okay? So you can see how the arrow here points to this flat surface. The flat surface of a three-dimensional shape is called a face. So here is a face, okay? And then we have an edge, and it's what connects one vertex to the next vertex. That's called an edge. So this is an edge, this is an edge, this is an edge, and this is an edge. And finally, we have a vertex. And a vertex is a point where two edges meet, kind of like this, okay? And where they meet, it makes a vertex. When I have more than one vertex, it's called vertices, okay? So if I have two, it's not a vertex, they're vertices. And that's what a vertice is. So let's take a look at my shape down here. I have a rectangular prism here. And if I wanted to count the faces of a rectangular prism, I would have to think about what are all those flat surfaces. So here is one face. And that's really this part right here of the shape. This is another face, making it two. Then I have three, which would be the outside. So we've done this side, and this side. And then I have the back side over here. So what I've done is done all of these around. Then I have to remember to count the ones on the top and the bottom. So if I have 4 around and 1 on top and 1 on bottom, that means there's 6 faces.
6
Edges can be a little bit trickier, okay? When I have an edge, I have to make sure I'm counting all the lines there. Okay, so let me take a different color out. Remember, an edge is from one point to the next. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I went around with my red pen and I drew all the lines counting them. So I have 12 edges. And the last thing I'm going to count, I'm going to change my color, is going to be the vertices. So remember, those are the points where each spot touches. So each edge will touch. And that spot here is called a vertex. And when there's more than one, remember it's called a vertice. Okay? So let's count them. Sorry about Lucy. So when I'm looking over here, I'm going to put a circle on the spots that connect. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 spots where the edges meet. So there's a total of 8 vertices. Okay? Let's try the same with the cube. If I understand the faces, that's the flat part. So I actually have my dice here, and this can help me understand the faces, okay? So again, if I go all the way around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the side, and 6, okay? So I have a total of 6 faces. Okay, so I'm going to write down 6 faces, and you can even see it in the picture here. So you have 1, and then on the back sides, 2, this face, 3, this face, 4, and then the top and the bottom, making it a total of 6. When I connect the edges together, remember those are all the lines that make the shape. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then I'm going to grab my other color here, and when I connect all of the edges together, I get vertices here. So let's draw those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there's 8 total vertices. What do you notice about both the rectangular prism and the cube? So looking at their faces, their edges, and their vertices, what do you notice? You should notice that they are the same. When we are working with rectangular prisms and cubes, they are going to have the same number of faces, edges, and vertices, okay? If I was going to draw out what these look like, what the faces look like, they would look different. You can see that these shapes look different here, but what I'm noticing is the faces here, they both have 6. So how am I going to understand when they are different? A face on a cube, you should notice, is all the same. What shape is going around a cube? What shape is that face? It's a square, right? How many faces are in a cube? There's 6. So I know if all of the faces are the same and they're all squares, how many squares would I need to draw out? I would need to draw out 6. So I'm going to draw 6 squares. I'm trying to make them as close as I can, but this is what the faces of a cube would look like. Now let's talk about a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism, you should see, has a square on one side and a rectangle around it. So if we looked and saw right here, or we look and see, you can see that a square is here and a square is here. But what shape is going around it? It's a rectangle. That's how it gets its name, rectangular prism, boys and girls, okay? Because there is a rectangle in there. So we have one square on one side and another square on another side, or at the front and the back, meaning that there are 2 total squares. But I have 6 faces, right? So what goes around the shape? It's a rectangle. So if I already drew out 2 squares, that means I have 4 faces left, and my faces remaining are rectangles. So I'm going to draw 4 rectangles the best that I can here. Okay? So that's the difference between the 2. What you are going to do today is you are going to choose which shape matches which face, or which faces in the picture, okay? Take a look around your house. See if you can practice with any rectangular prisms or cubes that you might see. Dices are really good. Kleenex boxes might be really good. Like I said, I grabbed a couple of things from Elise's play area. So if you have a younger brother or sister, maybe you could see if there's some things you can navigate and see around your house, okay? Happy math time.